Hello Pisces, and welcome to Coleman Tarot. My name is A.T. Coleman, and this is going to be your reading for the month of June. Okay, here we go. I have pre-shuffled these a lot because I've tried to start the Pisces reading about 5 or 6 times, and it just keeps I keep getting interrupted or things keep not working. So here we go. I'm using the Salvador Dali deck, and that's going to be it. This one's really warm. Okay, here we go, Pisces. First you have the Two of Pentacles, then we have the Seven of Wands reversed, then we have the King of Swords, the High Priestess, the High Priest. Okay, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords, and then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the Eight of Pentacles, and here we have the Ten of Pentacles. Excellent, excellent. Okay, these are the things that are hidden from you. There we go. So this is going to be your pathway. These are the things you're meeting along the way. These are what help or hinder you. This is your obstacle. This is your outcome. And this is the stuff that's hidden from you. So you are starting off the month with the Two of Pentacles. And this card is about, it's in reverse too. I didn't realize that. It's hard to tell this is in reverse, but it was in reverse. And what that means is that your balance is off. You're not really balancing the things in your life properly. You're focused more on one than the other. And it's upside down. So you can see, look at this guy. You can see that this guy is trying to carry the world on his shoulders. Or at least this giant head of hair. He's trying to carry that giant head of hair on his shoulders. And it's unbalanced, okay? So the workload has gotten too big. Your responsibilities have gotten too big. And you have forgotten that there's other things in life, okay? This is the guy. This thing right here is the guy. And he is getting much bigger than this over here, which is the dragon. And the dragon is more about things of the soul, things that you enjoy, that you care about. This is more about work. Okay, so you're more focused on work. And you can care about work, but at the same time, you have to realize there's other things in life. Okay? You've got to have a better balance. You're a little bit off balance. And you also have this one in reverse, which is the Seven of Swords. I don't normally even do reverse, but sometimes when they come up in this deck, you can't even tell because the Salvador Dali pictures don't always make sense. But also, I just feel sometimes like they're supposed to be in reverse, and they have different meanings when they're in reverse. This one here, if it's up like this, it means that you are stealing the day, basically. You're winning, but you're kind of being sneaky about it. You're kind of winning because you have an advantage, or you're winning because you snuck in the back door, you had extra contacts, or you had extra abilities that helped you to win. When it's in reverse, what it's saying is that other people are winning. You're not the one who is winning. You're kind of stumbling on these swords over here. You're tripping over these swords. You're tripping over your intellect, basically. You're tripping over your thought process. You're thinking too much instead of giving into the passion of this dragon and just going wild a little bit. You're thinking too much, overanalyzing, being too analytical. And you can see this red figure here. This is all about fire and passion and just wild abandon. And these swords are more about intellect, so they're more about thinking and logic and things like that. So you need to let a little bit more of your fire out. You don't need to be thinking quite so much, and you need to have a little bit more fun, I guess, or a little bit more instincts. Okay? Over here we have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is about authority. Now, what's interesting here is that you have the Pope. You have like some kind of religious guy here with this hat, looks like the Pope, and usually that would be the Hierophant, but here it's the King of Swords. So what they're telling you here is that this person is more like a teacher than an authority figure. He's more like a teacher than the government. Somebody out there, either you're going to be teaching others or someone else is going to be teaching you. It's kind of a mix between the Hierophant and the authority card. And they are going to be one of you, either you or someone else that's teaching you is going to be the authority. And you're going to use that wit and intellect to teach others. So it's a hybrid, like I said, between the Hierophant card and the King of Swords card, which is about the Hierophant is more like a teacher. So this is saying that either you're going to become an authority on a certain subject, a certain topic, or that someone else is going to be teaching you and you're going to be taking lessons from them about some kind of educational thing. Because swords are about intellect. All right? Now, so you might be taking classes or you might be giving classes. Over here we have, in the middle of your deck, the High Priest. And this is like the High Priestess card. This is about using your intuition and your gut instead of always using your brain, using analytical processes to think of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. This is saying try to go with your gut and your instinct, because they actually are part of you. They're part of your subconscious, and it's very strong. You might have psychic abilities that you haven't really explored. You might want to take a course about tarot. You might want to trust your gut more. Okay? And over here we have, helping or hindering you, you have the Knight of Cups. And this is usually romance. Okay? Romance. And since it's over this card here, you might be, and it's a hindrance or help card, it might be that you are having a problem with your romance. You might put your heart out there and you might stumble a little bit. Don't be afraid to do that, because if you trust your gut, if you have a gut instinct to romantically go after someone, you can do that. You might stumble a little bit, but you still should trust your gut and do that. Just don't be surprised if you stumble and it's not perfect. You might not come off as the perfect person who's wanting to romance somebody, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to get everything right the first time. You can put your heart out there. It's just that since this is a hindrance, it's telling me that any kind of romantic gestures might be a little bit fuddled. They might not be so perfect. And that's okay, because you don't have to think it out and analyze exactly what you're going to say to this person and exactly what you're going to do. You can go by your gut and just be honest and tell them how you feel without analyzing it so much and trying to make it so scientific or so logical. Okay, the other thing that is a help or a hindrance is this one here, which is the Two of Swords. Now, I can really see these guys working together, okay? With this and this and this. These are all telling me that there's some kind of romantic snafu, okay? Because this here is a card about, and it's a help or hindrance, but it's a card about not being able to see where you're going because you're blindfolded and you don't have all the answers, all right? Now, as the High Priest, you can use your instinct and you can use your gut and your intuition. You don't even need to see where you're going, because you can see here that this person is connecting spiritually and that light is guiding them. The light is guiding them, so you don't need to always see where you're going. But at the same time, the blindfold is about, is covering your eyes when you have swords. And swords, as I said, are about intellect and logic. And that's when you're blindfolded. Okay? When you use your gut, you can see by the light of your instinct. When you use your intellect, you're a little bit, you can't see where you're going. And you can't see where you want to put your power. You need to trust your gut. Okay? I'll get more on that, but I'm going to go with your obstacle first. Your obstacle is the 2, 4, 6, 8. Your obstacle is the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles are about crafting something that you're very skilled at. And that has to do with this, okay? That has to do with this. Because you want to be the authority on something. You want to teach something or learn something. But for most of you, it's teaching. For some of you, it's going to be learning. You want to learn or teach something. But the problem is that you're not really prepared to take action in that area. You're not really prepared to just dive in and start manufacturing things and making things and putting stuff out there. You need to also trust your gut. You need to also, I guess, just stop and really see how you feel about certain things. Trust more how you feel about somebody that you might want to do business with, or a course that you want to teach, or a course that you want to take. And don't just always try to take things or teach things that are so logical. Don't be afraid to teach things or to learn things that have more to do with the spiritual side, because that's where you can see better than here, where you're blindfolded. All right. So also your outcome. Your outcome is the 10 of Pentacles, which is a good amount of money. That's great. It's about you getting money and feeling a little bit more secure with your family. This person they're all in this nice, comfortable, warm spot, and they're all being surrounded by butterflies, and they have the money. Now, the things that are hidden from you are the Justice card, again with the sword. The Justice card is about, and then you have the scales there. So this is like you're ready to take action. You have two swords and you can't really see where you're going. And in the Justice sword, the Justice picture, it's basically the same thing, but your blindfold's off and you have one sword. And instead of having two swords, you have the scales. So what that's telling me is that in this picture, you want to take action and you're ready to take action, but you haven't really seen what you need to see to determine which action to take. So in the beginning of the month, you want to take action, but you're not really ready yet. Then you take off your blindfold, you see clearly, you have the scales of justice, and then you're ready to take action. Once you decide what you want to do, what's fair for you, what's fair for your students or your teacher, and then with this thing where you're stumbling over the swords, you need to put the swords down, or at least one of them, and start looking at the scales of justice. What is fair? What is balanced? Again, with the balance thing. You might need to balance what you want to do and what you want to learn with your family, what you want to teach with spending time with your family, so that you can balance things out. Something that's fair to everyone involved. All right. Now, I just mentioned your family. There's the Four of Wands, which is about a firm family foundation. So you might want to balance out your family and your work and not be more one than the other. Okay? And the last card that you have is the Five of Wands, which is about competition and struggling and having some frustrations. And that has to do with this thing. Whatever you want to learn or whatever you want to teach, I think you're going to start trying to set that up. You're going to have some frustrations. And the reason that you're having frustration is because you're not seeing the whole picture. Once you see the whole picture, then you will realize that you don't need to be so aggressive in the action that you're taking. You need to be a little bit more maybe diplomatic. And then you need to focus on making sure that you have enough time for your family as well. Your family and your social life as well, and trying to balance those out. Okay? And the thing is, you also, when you start to balance things out, you might also realize that your family has some good advice, or your family and friends might know people that could make things easier for you. Okay? Instead of trying to do everything by yourself, with the two swords, you could get some help from somebody else. Okay? Now, and the same thing with the relationship. With the relationship, stumbling over the relationship and things like that, I really feel like there's going to be some bickering and some stress. If you're going to be going after somebody and pursuing a new relationship, make sure that you're not stressed when you're doing it, because then it's not going to be that romantic if you're bickering and stressed, okay, over the stuff that's happening. And your outcome is excellent. Your outcome is the Ten of Pentacles. So it looks like whatever problems that you have here, you're going to solve them, and then you're going to end up getting more money than you would have if you had just jumped in and started doing the work. If you stop and take your blindfold off and get some advice from other people and spend some time with your family, then I think that things will switch. You're going to find something out. You're going to learn something, and it's going to help you to accomplish things a lot faster and with a lot more money. All right, now I'm going to get this to find out about the Justice card, because I think that's the biggest thing that's throwing me. I understand that you might have some problems romantically approaching somebody. You might stumble and make some mistakes, and that's fine. I understand that you're going to be learning something or teaching something. You might be becoming the authority on a certain subject, and trying to teach that, then you're going to run into some frustration, some problems, and realize you don't see the whole picture. What I want to ask is about the Justice card. What does that have to do with your career, and what does that have to do with the Two of Swords? Okay, I got 4 of these. One is the Ace of Swords, which is saying that you're going to need to get clarity, which is exactly what happens when you take off your blindfold and get rid of one of the swords. Then you will have the authority. Then you'll have the clarity. Then you'll have the clarity and you'll be able to see things better. The second thing that you have is the King of Swords, which is, again, the same card as this. The King of Swords. This is saying that you're going to be the authority on something. And then you have this wild horse in the background that's kicking up. So when you try to be the authority on something, other people might come forward and they might say, hey, you're not an authority on this. And then you can say, well, I am because of blah, blah, blah. Or there's a lot of different ways to be the authority, or there's a lot of different people out there that are teaching something in a different way. This is my style. Get off my back type of thing. Here you have, you want to, somebody has knocked this guy's crown off. So he wants to be the king, but he also wants to fight. And I don't think you can be the king and fight at the same time. He's trying to. And that's why he can't use his sword, because he's like, do I use my helmet? Am I going to war, or am I going to stay here and be the king? I can't do both. And this horse is just kicking around saying, are we going to go? Are we not going to go? I don't know if you're the authority. I don't know if you're my boss or not. So that's what I'm thinking. You're gonna want to teach something, and people might argue that you're not an authority, and you're going to have to maybe show your qualifications, or maybe switch things around a little bit. The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is about you being a little melancholy or upset about something. And you can see this guy has some plans and he's ready to start. He wants to plan something, but he's got this problem in the way. He's got this cup in the way. So he's got his 3 cups over there that he's already done. And he wants to go for the 4th cup and he's not getting it. So this is just telling me you might have some problems at the beginning when you're setting something up. The 5 of Swords. Look at this. This is a great 5 of Swords because the guy has won, but he's lost his head. So it's saying don't let your ego take a hold of you. If you're going to be the authority on something, be diplomatic and don't let your ego make you brag too much, because then you're going to have these people coming out and saying, wait a second, you're not the authority, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to say you're the authority on something, don't knock other people who are also the authority, okay? Just you don't need to put other people down to toot your own horn, okay? And I'm not saying that you have or that you will. This is just what the cards are warning, okay? I'm sure you'll be very humble, okay? Now, and the other thing is, don't be afraid to teach something if you know it, and don't be afraid of other people coming forward and saying, well, I think blah blah blah. I don't like your blah blah blah. People will, even if you're the best person in the world at something, someone's always going to come forward and, you know, try to cause problems. There's always trolls out there who feed off of making people feel insecure and making people feel bad about themselves. There's just evil little trolls along and try to like kick everybody's bucket over. Basically, I hate people like that. The Stag is your spiritual card, and this says pride and leadership. So it's okay for you to go out there and be a leader. Be a leader, be a humble leader, and try to ignore all the trolls out there. Okay? And I know it's hard because when I do my businesses too, I always get people that are like, I don't like blah, 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 I don't like that. And I just think, sometimes it hurts my feelings. And then I just say, you know what? Troll. There's trolls. Okay? Every bridge has a troll. And you can't build a bridge without finding little trolls under there. Okay? So ignore your little trolls. Have a great month. This is your outcome, the 10 of Pentacles. So don't be afraid to start something and to teach something and to stumble in love. It doesn't matter. Any frustration that you have, any little roadblocks that you have, any stumbling that you have, you just do it and get over it and keep going, because this is your outcome, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay? So you go and you be this wonderful, magnificent stag. And if a troll comes along, you just kick him out of the way. Okay? Have a great month.